Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the Beneficent, the Merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, Thee alone do we serve, and Thee alone beseech for Thine help and aid. O Allah, guide us on the right path, path of those upon whom Thou bestow Thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom Thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard Thy teaching. Say He, Allah is one God. Allah is He of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is He begotten, there is none like Him. And I bear witness none is earth to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. We want to acknowledge the brothers and sisters who sent us the greetings of Assalamu Alaikum. We have Sister Badia Muhammad. We have Sister Zakia Karim. We have Brother Calvin Shabazz from Atlanta. We have Brother Elijah Shabazz from Virginia. We have Brother Muta Kabir from New Jersey. We have Brother Ibrahim Muhammad from Tampa, Florida. And we have Brother Salim Bey from Oakland, California. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And we want to continue. I want to say in the name of Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad, in the name of His last and greatest messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, I'd like to greet the brothers and sisters with the Nation of Islam's greeting words of peace of Assalamu Alaikum. We want to continue our talk on which one will survive the war of Armageddon. But we also want to continue to distinguish the difference between the new school Nation of Islam and the Nation of Islam under the messenger. And last week, I made a mistake about the date on the paper. The date was kind of smeared. But the Muhammad Speaks newspaper actual date was March 21st, 1969. And the title of the article is Black and White Worlds Near a Showdown. And we want to continue with this article because this interprets for us what the messenger meant when he was saying which one will survive the war of Armageddon. It was black versus white. And we want to give an example with this. It was a father, Catholic priest. His name was Father Grappi. Now, the messenger talked about this Catholic priest in the fall of America. And this will be another example to show you how with the messenger it was black versus white. It wasn't all this good white man like you hear people talk about today. This was the Saturday, September 2nd, 1967. It's called Shebogan Press. And the title of it is called Negro Followers Are Sold on Militant Father Grappi. Now this white man was known as a militant Catholic priest. And they said he refers to himself as a child of the Italian ghetto. His followers call him Grops and will go all out and will go out of their way to protect him. On Milwaukee's South Side, the Reverend James E. Grappi has been referred to as a white nigger, troublemaker, and worse, a judge has labeled him this evil man. No matter what he's called, the controversial work Roman Catholic priest has been thrust to the forefront of Milwaukee's racial problems this summer, and Thursday night was bodily arrested as he led marches towards City Hall for St. Boniface Church, where he is assistant pastor. Then it says Father Grappi sees his job as one that must be done. He says, I came from an Italian ghetto, he says. I'm committed to work in a Negro ghetto. My parish is actually a mission, and we have to be missionaries. He has referred to himself as a black man with white skin. This was Father Grappi. This was in 67. This white man is the same in 1967 as you have with this man that they call Father Pfleger today. Because it's a Catholic priest in Chicago. His name is Father Pfleger. He the same as Father Grappi. If you read the history on Father Grappi and read old newspaper articles about what they say about Father Grappi, Father Pfleger the same. But today, people sympathize with Father Pfleger. No disrespect to Father Pfleger. If Father Pfleger want to help the black man and you can get something from Father Pfleger, get it. We ain't mad at you. But he's still a devil. That's all praises due to Allah. And we don't mean no disrespect to Muslims either. We don't want people to think we here to disrespect Muslims. We not here to put you on blast. We just here to represent the messenger. Because a lot of people in their interpretation of the messenger is not the same as what his interpretation was. And we'll see another newspaper article on Father Grapi came from the Sunday Telegraph. It was May 21st, 1967. And it says, Milwaukee's angry priest backs black man. This is what Father Grapi said. He said, sure, I'm angry, he once said. And any black man that isn't angry needs a psychiatrist. He says a revolution, the priest says, must occur within the Negro mind. He must become proud of his negritude and be able to say to himself, thank God I'm me, just the way I am. God made me this way, and I'm beautiful. This is what Father Grapi was saying. He was a militant white Catholic priest. But what did the messenger say about Father Grapi? Because he mentioned him for a reason. He mentioned him in The Fall of America, chapter 12, page 51. He says, as you see, the Christian priest Grapi in Milwaukee, who professes to be trying to help those who want to live next door and in the house of the children of our father's slave masters. He said profess. He didn't say that he was. He says the Christian priest Grapi in Milwaukee, who professes to be trying to help those who want to live next door and in the house of the children of our father's slave master, is having trouble. Even this easily can be classified as deceitful work against true freedom, justice, and equality for our people. This priest Grapi is having trouble among other open, vicious haters of you and me of his kind. The messenger didn't separate him from the rest of the devils. He said of his kind. He didn't try to say, like they say about Father Pfleger, like trying to make you think he a different kind of devil. He the kind of devil you can trust. He the kind of devil that's really working hard for the black man. No, that ain't what the messenger said about Grapi. And Grapi was doing the same thing Father Pfleger was doing. Then he said, this priest wants to help the poor black man here in America, and especially in Milwaukee, to accept false friendship, to forever be at their mercy, to rule spiritually, economically, and politically. That's what the messenger said. That's what the messenger meant when he said, which one will survive the war of Armageddon? Black versus white. Ain't no good white man. The messenger never spoke of a good white man. This is about the closest you will see the messenger speaking of giving the white man props is what he said about President Kennedy. When he said something good for the black man and they killed him. And he said the same thing about Lincoln. But he never told you that President Kennedy was a good white man. All he said is he said something good for the black man and they killed him. And he said most of the time when you find white people saying something good for the black man, he get killed. That was about the closest you would hear the messenger say something about a good white man. But he was still the devil. And this is why I stress that Muslims should read old Muhammad Speaks newspapers. Because when you read Muslims back in the time of the messenger and what they said, they was echoing the same thing the messenger was saying. You didn't have Muslims arguing about the white man being the devil. Today, if you go on social media and you have a lot of Muslims on your social media account, start talking about the white man's the devil. Say something about Father Pfleger. The next time Father Pfleger do something good, say something like he's still a devil. See how many Muslims will come to defend this white man. That's the world we live in today. But we love Elijah Muhammad. He the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's what Muslims say today. Oh, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But you defending Father Pfleger or any white person. If a white person do something good, that's great. But he's still the devil. Let's continue with what the messenger says. He says he is not trying to teach the black men that they should not want to sell themselves back to the slave master for a morsel of pottage. The priest knows by the scripture in his Bible that the time is right for the total freedom of 400-year-old slave of the white man to go to his own earth. The priest is wise to you that you should have a place to live wherever you want. He would not have dared teach this openly before this day and time, the end of this world. Now that's what the messenger said about Father Grotty. Now let's go a little bit further and see what the messenger says about hate teaching. This comes from the May 16th, 1969, Muhammad Speaks. Now the messenger says, and this is in the middle of the article called Hate Teachings. The messenger says they were the originators of racism, talking about the white man, not you and me. And any race that thinks anything of its race is a racist. We cannot love our race unless we are for that race. This is another trick that the devil is using on you. This is to make you love him and his people. He knows it is against the will of God for you to love him. This is the messenger. He said it's against the will of Allah for you to love the white man. Do we say that about Father Pfleger? Do we say that about any of these devils? Because in today's Nation of Islam, we like to talk about Savior's Day 1974. Say, well, the messenger said we shouldn't make mockery of white people. The messenger always said that. But we try to use the last Savior's Day to try to say, if he would have lived just another day, he would have told us the white man ain't the devil. So anything he said that could be close to that, we say, see, he said don't make a mockery. He always said that. When did he tell you to make a mockery of the white man then? Since you saying he said you don't make a, he always was saying that. Everything he said in Savior's Day 74, he was always saying. If he wasn't, show us where he wasn't saying that. All praises due to Allah. He said he knows that, but he deceives you. It is an intelligent person who loves his own race and wants his own race to stand out for itself and not mix itself up with other races. This is intelligent and decent. This the white man knows. We all are racists who have 2 cents worth of knowledge, because racism is only the love of your own race. That's the messenger. Now we seen last week the messenger was talking about black supremacy, and other people also saw the messenger's teachings as black supremacy. And this comes from the message to the black man, and it's on page, it's in the forward. So I don't know what page XX is, but it's double X. That's the page. And it's the person who wrote it was Daniel Burley, and it's in the message to the black man. He said Muhammad is condemned and looked upon as some kind of social criminal because he has the rare courage to tell his people and the world that there is a such thing as a supreme black man. To these writers, black supremacy sounds like foul, sinister plot to liberate some fierce, ferocious black animals on an unsuspecting, innocent white world. They assert that this black supremacy doctrine Muhammad teaches is all wrong. Even other people saw the messenger's teachings as black supremacy, because the messenger taught us that the black man is God. We have a nature of righteousness. So if we rule, we're going to have, our rulership is going to be a righteous rulership. So when we talk about black supremacy, we're not talking about lynching white people. We're not talking about raping white women. We're not talking about giving people injustice. We're not trying to say that we would do to white people what they did to us. That's not black supremacy. We will give the white man justice. And justice means total destruction for the white man. That's what all praises due to Allah. The messenger says in the message to the black man that you cannot equally repay the white man back for what he did to us. That's how bad the white man destroyed us. You can't do nothing to the white man equal to what he did to us. So the messenger said that Allah will totally destroy them. And he went even further to say that the white man was made to be destroyed. He said that his destruction was made before he was even grafted. All praise is due to Allah. But we don't want to prolong the time, brothers and sisters. So I'll leave you as I came in the Nation of Islam's reading word of peace of Assalamu alaikum.
your brother another hand. Thank Allah. Always good to have somebody to kick it off. I like to say in the name of Allah, came in person of Master Prophet Muhammad, the true living God. We forever thank Him for reigning up in our midst, a divine leader, teaching God, in the person of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And peace and blessing of Almighty God, Allah, ever be upon him. And I thank Allah for His coming again, seeking to save that which was lost. And we must remember that He found one, only one from among you and I to teach and guide us. It's none other than the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. May the peace and blessing of Almighty God, Allah, ever be upon him. It's indeed an honor and a privilege to be here in this day and time, bearing witness, striving in the cause of Islam, bearing witness that there is no God but Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, and the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was his last and greatest messenger. I'm thankful to Almighty God, Allah, and I hope and pray Allah to continue to bless me to be a follower of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, and to do all that I can, all that we can, to help continue the teaching and the program of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But we must remember that we will never be successful. We will only be successful if Allah is with us, and we submit our will to do His will, and submit our will to follow and obey the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. And this is, in turn, will bless us to be successful. This is the only way that we will be successful. We must submit our whole self entirely to do the will of Allah, and ask Him to strengthen us, and He's well able to protect us. But we must have confidence, trust, and faith in Him for Him order to be able to help you and I. We must recognize His message and submit ourselves. It's very important. And when we say submit, not only to the teachings itself, but when we say the laws, the rules, the regulations, we must submit ourselves to it. Not just the doing of good to others and yourself, but to the laws and rules of Islam, what the messenger taught us. Sometimes it seems we make it complicated. The messenger's teachings was plain. So plain it's like taking candy from a baby. But see, we make it complicated because a lot of times we can get hung up on things, or just get hung up with the lack of understanding. And you must get understanding. You have to get understanding for yourself. You have to get understanding for yourself. You have to read and study what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught you, because he didn't teach you no more than what he taught me, or what he taught the next brother or sister. It's how we apply ourselves to what he taught. See, we just can't see. You can't say mere beliefs count for nothing unless carried into practice. You know, this is it's very, like I say, simple, but we makes it complicated because we've been in the hands of an enemy, and it's hard for you and I to submit to black authority. It's very hard to submit to black authority. We so groomed in submitting to white people. We submit to white people in authority quick, but as soon as a black man, it's hard for us to submit to a black man, to those in authority. It's just hard. It's like that. But the messenger, the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, taught us his teachings is just. We treat the white man right, as long as it does not conflict with our religion. We treat the devil right. We treat everybody right. The messenger taught us. We love for our black brothers and sisters that we love for ourselves. And we do unto our brothers and sisters as we have done it to ourselves. And we treat everybody right, even white folks. We always say that. But when it comes down to you and I, it's something wrong there. It's hard for us to get over sometimes to one another. But the messenger's teachings is out front. If we solely focus on what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad have taught us, these distractions, they won't penetrate. A lot of things distract me and you. It'll distract you from being a brother to a brother. Things that will distract you from being a sister to a sister. because of what's said or what's been done or what's happening. These are distractions. This, in turn, it makes you other than yourself. If you have these kind of distractions that's always popping up, it makes you other than yourself. But we know the teachings of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad is the right thing for you and I. And we can look around today and see just what the most honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us. The time is here. It's right here. And we at the end of it. Every tub sits on its own bottom. It's not a joke. If you look around and we see what's going on today, Allah is going to destroy this world of the white man. And if we're not careful, we get caught up in it. Easily get caught up in it. By being hard-hearted, stiff-necked, and rebellious. These things will deter us from our happiness. It takes a toll on you and I, because some people will never change. Some people are not going to change. It's like Islam. It's not for everybody. Everybody's not going to accept it. Everybody is not going to accept it. The messenger said that there's fuel for the fire. The Holy Quran speaks of fuel for the fire. Some people they just in love with the white man. They're just in love doing evil. They don't want the truth, so they're not going to accept it. They'll die. They go right down with the devil. These are the kind of things what's happening today. So we want to get caught up in there. If we look and see how Allah is destroying this devil, and we have all the history, I think Allah should try to bring this about so that we can see the messenger. See, it's so much conflict being going on today in this world today, so much opposition, even among the righteous, dissatisfaction. We don't tend to see the picture. We don't tend to see and realize and recognize what time it is. And the time is right here, but in our ignorance and foolishness and folly, we don't see the picture. It's like the grasshopper. He hop all summer long. He know the winter time is coming. But what do? He store up? Do he prepare himself for the winter? No. He just hop all along, singing all along, following, playing, fiddling and dancing like he got 1,000 years ago. When winter hit, he through. He don't have nothing. He didn't store nothing. He didn't do nothing. He just died. The cold weather catch him. It's like you and I. The destruction will catch you and I if we're not careful, because the messenger's teaching is plain today. But like I say, we can get caught up in this world of sport and play or whatever we say and get blindsided, blind, that we fail to realize and see the whole picture is right out in front of you and I. Because the messenger taught that this is the days of the resurrection. It's the days of Allah. The days of the Son of Man. The days of the resurrection. The days between right and wrong. The battle between right and wrong. And all this is happening today. He said, don't mistake this day for a 24-hour day. Because this is the days of Allah. This has been going on. This is in the making. This is in the destruction of the white man and all those who follow the white man. This is what's happening today. It's a very serious time, and your and my salvation depends on it. And he said that, I brought all this down. It's so plain once you see it. Once we take time and look at it and see what's happening, what the messenger is really talking about, you can see it just as plain as day. And if we look at it, it's be so plain, you'll be fearful. It'll put fear in you and me to know that, and we're not preparing ourselves. We still lacking the love and the honor and respect for one another, or either we still lacking that. We don't care about that. We just caught up in our thing, and that's it. And you fail to get the picture. You fail to get the picture. The message said America will destroy herself, and that's exactly what she's doing. That's exactly what she's doing. And he also said that he was the last messenger said that Allah sent Noah to his people. Now he explained this to you and I all the time. We talk about Lot, we talk about Noah, we talk about Abraham, all the prophets of God. But it don't register until you. But when you read it, when you see it in print from the messenger, when you see it in print, it's a different thing. It's a totally different thing when you see it in print. That's why you should read and study what the messenger said. Then you won't come up with your conclusion. See, we'll come up with our conclusion, what we think. It's all right for what you think, but think like the messenger think. See, think. He gave us the conclusion. He gave us the solution to the problem. He gave us that. But you don't put yours, say you, well, this is why I think. The messenger done said it. So what I look like, well, this is what I think. What you think ain't about nothing. He done said what was happening. You can think about it, but this is how we are. This is how we are. This is the kind of thing that we do. Well, this is my, don't care what the messenger said. I heard the messenger tell you this here. This was the messenger's blood brother. We were sitting up in the office and we listened to the tape. Somebody sent us this tape, One Unto the Hypocrites. And we were sitting up in this office and played the hypocrite. This is the first time I ever heard this tape. Since I ever been in the nation, I never heard it. I never even heard of the One Unto the Hypocrites. Until this particular day, somebody sent us the tape of that. The messenger was talking about Khalil, his blood brother. The messenger said, I made him the big boss. I made him the big boss over all. He said, I made him the big boss. I made him the captain. He had all he gave him all authority. He said that after the messenger was talking about Khalil, how he sided with the devil, and he had told us, oh, Khalil was a good captain. Yeah, Khalil was a good captain. Now he said all that until we heard this tape. Then after the messenger explained what Khalil turned hypocrite and how he sided with the enemy, he gonna say, oh man, I don't go for all that stuff. See what I'm saying? I don't go for all that. In other words, this is the messenger of Allah saying what he was, but he gonna say, I don't go for all that. That's like, I'm trying to make a point here, when we say, well, I think. This is a messenger that laid it out for you and I. Laid everything out for us. Then we come back and say, well, I think it's this. Or I believe it's this. I believe just what the messenger said, because we have instructions from the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, which is plain. When he gave us these instructions, they were made to be followed and obeyed. This is how we be successful. We must obey the messenger. I don't care what it seemed like. It might seem like this is wrong. It might seem like this is not fair. It don't make no difference. It don't make no difference whether you think it's fair or not. He just said it. Pray be to Allah. He just said it. That's all that matters. He just said it. The messenger said, well, I just have to give it to you now. Well, you just have to take it raw. You just take it, accept it or reject it. That's how it is. A lot of times, it's hard sometimes to accept it. But we might think we have a good old thing. It ain't worth nothing. That's why I'm so happy that we have a leading teacher, brother and sister, now that was raised from among you and I to teach and guide us, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Because, see, we are always, the message say you think 5 times, and you might be right. 5 times. In other words, you just don't leap. You think. You go over things with the message. You go over it. We go over things. The messenger said that. He said, just don't take my word for it. Check behind me. We check behind him and see what he's saying is right. And he's right 100%. He's right. Because why? He's got it from Allah. He told you and I himself. He said, I didn't get it from myself. I got it from Allah. So if he didn't get it from himself, why would you dispute what you see or what you hear him say? You said, or I said, I believe that you talked to Allah. I believe he taught you 3.5 years. I believe he told you what to instruct us. But yet still, when things come down, we have a problem with it. Why is that? Because we're not sure. We're not sure. We don't believe it. We think that he don't know what he's talking about, or what I got, or what I'm saying is best. But see, we head for fire. We're heading for fire. We're heading for fire, I'm telling you, because this is how it is. It's like, I hope not to sound like a broken record, but the messenger taught us over and over again. He said the white man is the devil. He always will be the devil. Don't you ever forget it. And some of them say the devil is our brother. Some of them right today, Muslims, saying the white man is our brother. Right today. See? So we don't even go for that. But what we're saying here, like, I'm going to get back here to what he said about Lot. I had to write it down. I learned about, going on the top of your head. I'll write it down word for word so you won't make no mistake. You don't add to it, or you don't take away from it. When he said that, we know that the messenger, he said, I'm a plain warner to tell you what someone told me. That's all I am. He's not no father. He said, I'm a plain warner to tell you what someone told me. I'm a messenger. That's all I am. And that's all he presented himself, as a messenger. One who was taught from Almighty God, Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad, true living God. But see, when I looked and saw this in print, how it was written, it was a little different. It was like a whole big picture. It was so plain you can see everything, instead of saying that it happened to Lot. It's a little different. We say, well, it's Lot, the days of Lot, the days of Noah. But when you see that, for how the messenger explained it, and just how he put the broadside, you know he was the messenger. You know what he's saying is right. But see, we get caught up in this folly, and we don't concentrate on what's being said and what's being taught. So in other words, we'll find ourselves lingering along. Believe me when I tell you. He said, Allah sent Noah to his people to warn them and to teach them. If they did not submit to his teaching and separate from the ones who were leading the people from Allah, they were overtaken by destruction. They were overtaken by destruction. Allah sent Noah to his people. He said also, Allah also raised Abraham, was one raised to deliver to his people the warning of Allah and the anger, his promise of death if they did not submit to Allah. That's Abraham, right? Here's Moses. Now here we got this pattern. Here's Moses. Moses was another warner, he said, to his people, to bring them into the knowledge of Allah. A death penalty if they did not submit to him. That's just a few of them. Okay, now let's get to the messenger. Now, we see all this, right? We see all this. Allah raised up warner to send it in. This is a warning to you and I. It's a lesson. It's a learning for you and I. But have we really sat down and really gave that a thought? Have we really gave that a thought? Have we really gave that really a thought? Have we actually thought about that? Because if we thought about it, we would change some of our ways.
we probably would be a little better than what we are if we really believe that, if that really registered. So the message can say things, he talk, it go in one ear, come out the other. It don't penetrate because we have so much other stuff on our minds that we don't take a heed to what is being said here. This is the messenger. Now I want you to compare all this with all I did. It's a messenger's job was always to separate the people he was sent to from the evildoers, lest they all be destroyed. Now we get the picture. We see all this what Allah did, all this. Now it's coming to you and I. Now it's on you and I now. It's on us now. Right. All those was a lesson and a warning for the history to see what happened to those who disobeyed Noah, Lot, Abraham, who disobeyed them. They all was destroyed. Okay, what about you and me? What about us now? No, we don't look at that seriously because we got some other stuff. We don't listen to this seriously. Okay, this is what it says here. Read it again. The messenger's job was always to separate the people he was sent to from the evildoers, lest they all be destroyed. Now, who was the evildoers? The messenger said the white man, the devil, was the evildoers. They are the ones who brought our foreparents into slavery, who kidnapped our foreparents and robbed them of the knowledge of themselves. The white man, the jinn, the devil. Okay, 3.5 years Allah came and taught the messenger. 3.5 years. Okay, now he teaches us or taught us like Lot, Noah, all the prophets of God taught. But are we serious about this? Are we serious? Are we really looking at this what it's for? All those who disobeyed the message of their time, they were destroyed. Likewise today, all of us who disobey the messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, teaching will be destroyed. That's all of his teachings. Every word of his teachings will be destroyed. He don't need no adding to it, don't need no taking from. It's plain. He got it from Allah. He got it from the God. So it wouldn't be no argument. It shouldn't be no argument. It shouldn't be no dispute. It should be unity. Because he got it from Allah. The all-wise, true and living God. So he got it from Allah to know that he's the best knower. He knows all. He has the power of all things. Master Farad Muhammad. He has the power over mind and matter. He has the power over what we think, he has the power over everything. He knows what we think. But see, a lot of times we get so familiar. We get too familiar with God. Oh, I don't think I have to do this. They're like your children. You ever see some people how they get too familiar with their parents? They take them, start taking them like one of their friends. They get like that. They get to smelling their own sweat. And then they want to tell you what to do. That's come be too familiar. We get too familiar with Allah. When we get too familiar with Allah, we stop saying our prayers. Because we too familiar. We would know Allah's merciful. Yeah, he is merciful. Yeah, he merciful. He know me. Yeah, he know you. You're right, he know you. He sure do know you. Yeah, see, we take that too merciful. But he means what he said. We do what he told his messenger to do. So we get so familiar, we don't even say our prayers when we supposed to. All I know, I had a hard time today. I couldn't say them. You do anything else you want to do. Let's say no time wasted for prayer. And no time wasted. Whatever that is, put it aside. Ain't no time wasted for prayer. In other words, ain't nothing more important to prayer. So don't come with that. We tell ourselves what we want to hear a lot of times. I owe it to myself. I used to say that when I was getting high, smoking that crack, smoking that dope. I owed it to myself. How in the world do a man owe anything like that to himself? How do you owe something like that to yourself? That's just an excuse to keep doing it. See? So these are the kind of things we want to fall into that. It's a lot of things here. When it says that, I got this out of Malachi. Read it, Malachi 3, chapter 3, in Malachi, where it says, this is the God talking. It said, behold, I'll send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. See how it's all coming into place? Behold, I will send you my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And he did. That Elijah Muhammad came and he prepared the way. He moved all those obstacles for God could come. See? Allah did come to seek and to save that which was lost. But the message prepared that way. He chopped down the trees and the branches and made the roads clear to give us a path to walk on. And he chose down of Elijah Muhammad to teach us. Just like Noah and all of them went to their people. The messenger came, he did his job, brothers and sisters. He did his job. There's not another one coming after him. Not one other coming after the messenger. Destruction time. The angels, the executors. That's who coming. But we done had our chance. Ain't no more. We done had it. It says, this is the final war between Allah and the devils. This is the final war. And we're at war. Right and wrong, truth and falsehood. We're at war. And if we look to see what happened last week, Alford, I can't pronounce, Alford, Maryland, where they had this flash flood. It's last week. They had cars, they had automobiles going down the road. And this happened, I think, in 2016 it happened. Same thing, these people rebuilt. Allah's son went back that to them. Now, just think. You should see it. Did you see that how that flash flood was? All them cars and automobiles going down the street and water building up. That's one of the weapons that Allah is going to be using. Rain, hail, snow, and earthquake. All this, look at that one in Hawaii. All that lava. Just lava is 500 feet. It's just coming down. They can't stop it. Burning up stuff. Then they're going to release this poison gas from this that's supposed to be coming all out there in the atmosphere. Somebody behind that. Master Prophet Muhammad, the son of man. This is what's going on today, brothers and sisters. The time is here. It's no joke. Every tub sits on its own bottom. Every tub. I can't save you. You can't save me. You got to save yourself. That's what the message says, save yourself. Don't be arguing with nobody. They want to follow the message, okay. Too loose. Salam alaikum. See you later. However you want to do it. Go ahead on. I'm going to save me. I'm going to try to save myself from the fire, from the destruction that's coming. It's not a joke. It's scary. It's really scary. You go back and look what the brother was saying at the old Muhammad speech. You go back and look at him. It's a lot of them I didn't see. A lot of teaching I didn't get. A lot of it I didn't get. Just ask me, so when the last time, brother, ask me once, Lieutenant Fleming, when the last time you heard some teaching? I didn't get a chance to sit down and listen to the teaching and get a great understanding. I had to learn it on myself. I had to go by belief. That's what gets you through. Your faith in Allah. He'll guide you and show you the right way. Yeah, but I want to sit down and listen to it. I didn't get a chance to. See? Because I believed and still believe. And if you're a believer and you believe, you'll get through it. You'll get through it. I didn't have the luxury to sit down. None of the brothers didn't have the luxury to sit down and listen to the teaching. But if I had to do it all over, I'd do it again. Thank Allah. But believe and trust and know that the messenger was the messenger, you get through it. We're going to get through it. The message help you might in nation. You can compensate. You will. He said, it's going to be hard, trials are necessary to establish truth, brothers and sisters. But he said, you're going to be the winner. We just got to stick and stick to it. And don't get sidetracked. Because it's easy to get sidetracked. Believe me, it is. Prayer. Prayer is one of the keys. Prayer keeps one from indecency and evil. That's what combat it. That's what's going to combat it. Any shortcomings that we have, prayer will combat it if we're sincere with it. Allah guide us and protect us. And he will protect us from the enemy. The enemy out and the enemy within. That's how it goes. Praise be to Allah. I'm not talking about the individual within ourselves. The enemy within ourselves. The jealousy, the envy within ourselves. That's the enemy within ourselves. Fault finding, backbiting, rebelliousness, untruthfulness, deceitfulness. That's the enemy within. Allah protects us from that enemy within ourselves. Because the messenger taught us everything we do to ourselves. By what? Being disobedient. We do to ourselves. So these are the kind of things. The pure Muslim believers going to make it. This is separation here. We are being made manifest. And whatever's in you and I, it's going to come out. It's going to come out. Sooner or later, it's going to come out. See? But we had a messenger to teach us. And he also said, now, if Lot's follower was destroyed, what do you think about us? If Lot's followers were destroyed, Abraham, Noah was destroyed, what in the world do you think going to happen to me and you? If we don't buckle down, if we don't submit to Almighty God, Allah, we're going to be destroyed. It's just that simple. It's not a game. It's like when you come to the city of Detroit, like you go to these other cities, state of Michigan, they have something like that. They might have smog. You can tell when you get a smog. Soon you get through here, what you smell? You smell reefer. That's the smog here. You smell dope. You smell it. You can drive down the street, smell it. You go to some areas, you smell weed. And you're wondering why the children is going cuckoo. They get out there, little 2-year-old, 3-year-old, and sniffing, and he smells sniffing weed. And if you're not careful, you'll get a contact. If you're not careful, you'll get a contact if you just sit around there. Just don't just stay here. All this weed around you just gonna stay there. See, these are the kind of things what's happening today. They're going after our children. That's what they're going after. Yeah, they're going after them. Yeah. They're getting them in all kind of things today. Yeah. That's the message said, See? So we know the white man, the white race is the enemy. We know that. See? But we can be enemy to ourselves. It's what's in us. The message said, we're Muslim brothers and sisters. And we should act like Muslim brothers and sisters, regardless. Right is right. Right is right. So, it also, when it said that in Malachi, how, let me get back to this here. How Allah said he would send his messenger to prepare a way for me. 44 years. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad had taught. Allah came in 1930 to seek and to save that which was lost, and he found one. We have to continue to, it's a blessing to know that. Can't nobody take the place of a messenger. It's a blessing to know that, because we're not going to accept any other messenger, because we know nobody can take the place of a messenger. We know that. It's a blessing to know that. Just think about the people that don't know. But we know that the most honorable Elijah Muhammad was the last and greatest messenger. We know that. We don't have no doubt about that. See? These kind of things. We're very fortunate to be followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. But see, we self-destruct. See? We self-destruct. It's like I say, some people, it's like just fuel for the fire. Some of them just not going, I think Allah, they ain't got a chance. I mean, they had a chance, but they just refused. They just refused to accept it. Refused to submit. These kind of things. And if we're not careful, we'll fall right into that bag. See? But know that we have a God on our side who came in the person of the Master Prophet Muhammad, the true and living God. We have to understand that and be righteous followers of the messenger. We all have faults. We have faults. But we have to recognize our faults. There's one thing that I know, that I believe. I know this. Allah is the best knower. But I can tell you this. If you're sincere, really sincere, and we take a step to correct ourselves, Allah is most merciful. You take that first step, he take the second. He know what you're thinking now. He know what you're thinking. He know if you really, really mean this. He know if we really have this in our mind. But see, pride. Iblis was proud. Iblis was real proud. You know, Iblis disobeyed. It's like this, brothers and sisters. Allah is no spook. But we say that, but do you really actually believe it? We can say a whole lot of things with our mouths. But the messenger said that when Khalil went back, he said, Allah showed me. I didn't know their hearts. See? I don't know your heart. You don't know mine. But Allah knows our hearts. He's the one going to judge you and me. He's the one. And he's a just judge. See? It's going to be fair. It's going to be real fair. See? And it ain't going to be no doubt that you and me will get understanding. Because we're going to come face to face with the truth. See, when we come face to face with the truth, you coming face to face with Allah. That's truth. And that truth, same truth, will help you and bless you, and the same truth will condemn you. Same God will love you and me, protect you and me. But his same God will punish you and me if we're not right. That's how it is. That's just, we can't get around that. He's a loving God, but he means exactly what we said. I pray Allah, I'm here after the power and authority of the white man's rule has been broken. It has been broken. I want to see paradise. I want to see what it looks like. I want to be a part of it. I want to see what it looks like. After this devil's gone, there ain't no more the devil nowhere. See? We don't even, it's going to be so the eye can't even, the heart never, it can't even conceive it. That's worth fighting for, man. That's worth being there. No more sickness. No more trouble. No more anger. No more all this killing, disrespecting, hating your brother and sister. None of that. All that's gone. Paradise, happiness, bliss, all the time. You get up feeling good all the time. You don't want that. You don't want to fight hard for that. Give our life for it so that our brother, our sisters, our little children can see it. So they come up can see it. Don't get it in the hands of the devil. We're very fortunate, brothers and sisters, to be followers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank you for listening. Assalamu alaikum. Praise be to Allah. We're going to have a good paper. I'll tell you that. Cover Allah. Good paper. You lost bound.
In the name of Allah, the beneficent, the merciful. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of the worlds, the beneficent, the merciful. So, Master's Day of Judgment in which we now live, the alone we serve and the alone seek for thine help and aid. For Allah guide us on the right path, after those upon whom thou spill thy favors, not on the path of those upon whom thy wrath is brought down, nor those who go astray after they heard thy teachings. Say he allows one God, allows he of whom nothing is independent, but upon whom we all depend. He begetteth not, nor is he begotten, there is none like him. And I bear witness that none is to be served, worship, or praise besides Allah, who came in the person of Master Farah Muhammad. And I bear witness that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad is our true servant and last apostle. Ameen. Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us not to do anything to anyone that we wouldn't have done it to ourselves, and treat everybody right, even the devil. Assalamu alaikum.